Hey howdy friends, MrAyrit here. Got what I think is an interesting comparison for you today. So, had these guys for a long time, both of these headphones. I've got the newer Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro X. I hesitate to say new now because it's been, I don't know, what, like a year since those things were released or maybe more. And I've had it for just about all that time, if I'm being honest with you. And then I've got my old DT990 Pro 600 ohms right here, right? Classic headphone. You can buy them for like $100. These guys, I think I bought like B stock from Beyerdynamic for like $150 or so not bad at all. What I'd like to do is basically review the 900X and then just kind of draw some comparisons to its older sibling here, and we'll talk about how they compare, etc. Let's hit accessories first with the 900X and kind of like build differences, and then we'll dig into sound, right? So accessories comes with a pretty decent accessory package for a headphone that doesn't cost all that much money. You get 2 cables, you get one kind of longer one that I didn't really use. It's pretty rubbery. You get a shorter one, which is the one that I use this entire time. Obviously these are mini XLR 3-pin, and it's got a removable cable, which is a big plus in my book. You can see mine got a little chewed up here. I have been using these a lot. These were my main gaming headphones. So they saw a lot of use over the summer, not so much at this point in time. And then you get this nice, I don't even know what kind of material this is. It's like a neoprene type material carry bag. I don't really use these types of things, but whatever. It's nice that they include it, and some people probably use them. So, comparing that to the 990, obviously they look quite different. The biggest gripe I have with the 990 is it's got an attached cable that's like 10 feet long, which is annoying to me, but it is what it is. So I really love that they chose to do removable cables with the new 700X and 900X from Beyerdynamic. I think the styling is more modern. Still feels quite robust. I would say the 900X feels more robust than the 990. The 990, of course, I mean, mine is used, and it's, who knows how old at this point in time and stuff, but you can just see it's got some slop in it. It does look interesting. I actually really like the way the 990s look. The 600 ohms anyway, I really like the way they look, but it is a rather kind of flimsy, finicky feeling headphone. Although, I mean, Beyerdynamics are kind of like tried and tested, right? They last. They're pretty tough headphones overall. You can see that the headband padding on mine is pretty much non-existent at this point in time. But that being said, I still find these super comfortable. These are still probably one of the most comfortable headphones you can get, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, super comfortable, very lightweight. You can wear them for hours and hours and hours. I would say that the 900X, again, it feels a little bit nicer. It feels a little bit tougher, in my opinion. Still a comfortable headphone, but not as comfortable as the 990. Definitely, I notice it a lot more on my head than the 990. So comfort, I'd give to the 990. Build, I'd give to the 900X. One of the things with both these headphones is they're very modular, so you can replace things that break on them. I haven't tried removing the headband from the 900X, but someone commented on my 700X that there's just a couple of tabs that you pop off and you can replace it really easily too. So that's all really cool. Yeah, let's talk sound. So obviously the 990 600 ohm is kind of a different beast because of its impedance. It's really amp dependent, I would say, as far as that goes. It does, I mean, you've probably heard all this about the 990s, right? They sound big, they're open, they're a little bit V-shaped in their sound, they're a little bit sibilant, right? They can have a lot of energy in those upper regions of the frequency response that can make it hard to listen to for long periods of time. I agree with all that. That being said, you pair it with the right amp, it can be a pretty phenomenal sounding headphone, I would say. Strong bass, you know, just a lot of presence, right? A lot of energy, very engaging listen. I thought the FIO K7, the desktop, right? That's like, you know, $200, or you can find it used for like $160 or something like that. I thought that paired quite well for a solid state with the 990s here, and I thought that was a really great listen. So I think that would be a really good like desktop gaming setup. These guys with a FIO K7 would be really nice for that. On the Element 3, I thought the 990s do like those traits that we're talking about. A little bit of harshness, a little bit of like buzziness in the upper end. You know, some of those things that people talk about with the 990 was much more noticeable and made it not great to listen to, I didn't think. Of course, people like to use these with tubes. I am tubeless right now. I don't have any tube amps because I've been simplifying my setup and stuff like that. So I can't really comment on that. I've tried it in the past. I guess I would, for the most part, agree with those types of things. But you know, I haven't done it recently, so we'll kind of leave that out of this. How does the 900X compare? It's very similar story, I would say. So it's very similar to the story of the 770 versus the 700, and I'll link that down below, in that I would say that the 900X is a much safer frequency response. It doesn't have those rough edges that the 990 has. It's a very safe frequency response. It's very easy to listen to. It's fairly neutral. So I think that makes this a pretty good, all in all, like good headphone to recommend, just because I feel like it's a safe frequency response. Like it's enjoyable to listen to. It doesn't do anything crazy or out of line. Like it's easy to drive, right? This thing's only, I don't remember, but they're only like 30 ohms or something like that. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that, but it's not hard to drive, right? You can drive these easily off of anything. So again, for the market for these guys, which is supposed to be like a on the go, like music producer type of thing, yeah, I think they're great. The other thing that I found these to be excellent for, as I said, these have been my main gaming headphone. I think they're phenomenal for gaming. I thought the 700X was great for gaming, but you know, the 770 and the 990 are also great for gaming too. I out of all of those, the 900X has been the one that I use the most. So if you can use an open back, I think this is a great option to look at if you don't need like a built-in microphone and things like that, and you don't mind using wired. I found, just again talking about the amps that I've been trying lately, K7, I found this kind of boring. Like, and that's maybe the thing with like these new Beyerdynamics or newer models of Beyerdynamics, is they're safe, but they're also can be a little dull, you know, when you're listening to them. If you're looking for like that engaging listen, especially on the K7, I thought this was pretty dull. The K7 is a very smooth, you know, amplifier. I think it's very neutral. It does things really, really well. It's very linear, if that's what you're going for. But, you know, if you pair it with kind of a linear, duller, smoother headphone, it can be kind of a dull listen. Maybe that's what you're going for. Maybe you're listening all day. Maybe you're listening in the background at work, something like that. That can be a good sound to go for. I'm not saying that's not a good sound to go for, but I'm just saying if you're looking to like be on the edge of your seat listening, I don't know if that's going to get you there. Paired with the Element 3, these got closer to that experience. I thought it was more engaging. I thought more detailed. It brought just more information to me, made it more accessible. I think it's a great match for the Element 3. So, and for most things, right? Again, easy to drive. You can pair it with just about anything. I use it with the BTR7 a lot. I use it straight out of the Xbox controller. I think it's a great headphone. So, this is another one of those situations where it's like, is one of these better than the other? I think that's pretty debatable. I think they both have their merits. This one's interesting and pretty cheap at this point in time if you buy one used. Very comfortable. You pair it with the right amp, it can sound phenomenal. You pair it with the wrong amp, it can be pretty harsh and kind of hard to listen to. This guy, you know, very safe. Frequency response, can power it off of anything. Maybe a little duller. in the frequency response. Not quite as much interest there, but you know, that can be a good thing too at some points in time. So I think it's interesting here what Beyerdynamic has done with these refreshes of the 709 and the 900 line, because I think they're very similar, the new 700 and the new 900, in that they're both really, really safe frequency responses and are kind of duller, more maybe universally acceptable experiences, where their older models like the 990s and the 770s and such are do things a little differently, which kind of makes them unique and cool in their own right. And I don't know, I think if I was Beyerdynamic, I'd keep making both and let people choose. They both have their place in the audiophile world, and they might both have their place in someone's collection, even for that matter. So I think that does it for this one. What's your experience? You have both these? What you like one better than the other? Do you like Beyerdynamic's new stuff? You like the direction they're going? Do you prefer their old stuff? Like I said, I can see people going either way on that. Drop those comments and opinions down below. As always, I thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one real soon.